I just think it's a terrible shame that Labor's resorting to lies and misinformation, frankly. We're not cutting equal pay, as I've seen on reports over the weekend. We're holding up the commitments that we've already made under pay equity settlements. We're maintaining, and all we're doing is making some changes to make it fairer, simpler and less complex. I think when you actually see a Labor Party, comparing ministers to Nazis, that is not great. We're not cutting women's pay. We're making changes because we've got an unworkable system that got really loose, unaffordable frankly, but loose and really broad around pay equity, and we're bringing it back to what it was intended to do in 2017 to make sure that, but we'll put money aside for future pay equity claims. We expect there will be them. We continue to honour the 12 that have already been settled. And so, they are outright lies. So that's what they're doing. And it's a shame that they're actually not standing up and actually arguing for what they thought was so good about their system and why it wasn't so, it's a very flawed system.
In terms of the ads that Labor has been doing, do you think that they are ultimately any different to the attack ads that have been done by other political parties, including National, over the years?
I would just say to you, I think, you've got to go back to the facts. And the reality is that when you see a letter going out from Carmel Sepuloni saying we're cutting women's pay, that is not true. It is not true. And so, we're not getting rid of equal pay, as has been suggested. We're not getting rid of collective bargaining. That's creating a huge amount of misinformation about it.
The thing is, the ads are true. They are cutting women's pay. They are taking billions of dollars that women were going to receive and they're cutting it. That's cutting women's pay. I don't think there's anything that's not true or accurate about that. There was one social media post which I saw, which I think a Labor Party page had shared. I made that very clear that was unacceptable. It had already been deleted by then, but that shouldn't happen. So I've asked the Labor Party, because it was a party volunteer page, not a parliamentary page, to make sure that that stuff can't happen again. They rammed this law change through under urgency without telling anybody about it, despite the fact they spent over a year preparing to do so. They've misled New Zealanders repeatedly over the last year around issues around pay equity. Nicola Willis herself, when she abolished the Pay Equity Task Force, said that she thought the law was working well. That was well into their time in government. When they were already working on these law changes, she was saying that she thought the law as it stood was working well. So I think they've been lying to New Zealanders all along.